Hello, crypto and mining community. Max Voltage here, and I got a really good one for you guys today. Basically, my daughter came home from school and said, I'm done with NiceHash. I want to mine on something else. It was music to my ears. I've gotten away from NiceHash for a little over about a year and a half. I started out on NiceHash with her. So now I'm very glad that she wants to get off of NiceHash. So now I'm trying to evaluate what the best option is for her being a small miner. So what I found is actually something me as a larger miner, I'm actually going to be changing to as well. So before we get into what I specifically found, let's take a look at, what are really the features that we're looking for when we are going after and choosing a mining pool, whether it be Ethereum or any cryptocurrency. First and foremost, you want to have a profitable pool. You need to measure the profitability versus other pools. So when we look at that, it's going to vary quite a bit from day to day or week to week, from mining pool to mining pool, because luck has such a factor on it. One of the websites that I use is Mining Pool's Profits. And this will show a certain number of mining pools. And it certainly shows at least the top 6 mining pools as far as size, and then shows a few others as well on this website as well. So the top ones are Ethermine, F2 Pool, Hivon, Flex Pool, and TwoMiners are the top ones. You'll see that, yes, there are different pools, Zet being one that is a smaller guy. So yeah, luck, they got really, really lucky. You can see by looking at these numbers that they got very, very lucky for a fairly significant period of time. But luck eventually is going to go towards 100%. It's just the way it works over the long period of time. I generally look at the longer numbers, the longer term numbers, the 90 days, the 60 days, and the 30 days, rather than looking at anything less than that. So if we look at those numbers, I'm currently using Ethermine. It's right around less than 1% less. If you look at TwoMiners, it's at 3.81%. But again, it's a bit smaller than Ethermine. So it takes longer for them to get to the average, whether it be good or bad luck. And then you have Hivon that's significantly off from where they should be on the long-term average of 11.2%. Those are the kind of the main ones that I've looked at. I've used FlexPool in the past. They were way off in the 90 days. Probably had an outage, my guess is, during this period of time. One of the reasons why I haven't used them is they have had some problems with outages in the past. Lately, they've been much more stable. So I like the guys, but decided to move on from FlexPool due to some of the problems they've had in the past. So I'm not mining with FlexPool. I've made the decision to move away from them. If we look at Hivon, their profitability isn't there. So while they have a great payout structure and the fact that you don't have to pay for payouts, well, you are paying for it through a lower profitable pool. You go all the way along here, it's one of the bottom performers of profitability of all mining pools. So why would you go to them for free payouts if you're just paying for it through lower profitability? Hivon is disqualified for that reason as far as my consideration. But that, again, we'll go into that when we look at some of the other features we're also looking for when we're choosing a mining pool. So we look at TwoMiners. They are fairly consistent. You can see that on the 21 day, they actually beat Ethermine. They were slightly behind on the 30, 60, and 90 days, but relatively competitive. You're talking within 3%. They are definitely competitive. So if I'm looking at who I'm considering at this point, I'm looking at TwoMiners. I'm looking at Ethermine. I'm not looking at F2 Pool because I don't really know what they're doing, because they've been a China-based pool in the past, even though they're the number 2 size pool. Considering FlexPool because of the history that I've had with them, and then I'm not picking Hivon because of the payout structure. Again, we'll talk a little bit about that as further down the list with So at this point, they would be disqualified because of profitability. That's why they're no longer in consideration. So the next criteria I'd be looking at is the size. So I'd be looking at wanting to be in a number 5, number 6 size pool. And the reason why is because that luck does average out a lot better on larger pools because you're getting a larger number of blocks. So if you have more chances at getting blocks, it's like flipping a coin. If you flip a coin 3 times, 2 out of those 3 times is going to be one or the other. It's either going to be 2 out of 3 that's going to be heads or 2 out of 3 that's going to be tails. Well, we all know that it should average out to about 50% of the time. So the more times you flip that coin, the closer and closer you're generally going to get to that 50%. Same thing with mining as well. So we definitely want to pick a larger pool. Basically, the ones I was looking at, Ethermine, TwoMiners, F2 Pool, Hivon, Flex Pool, those would be the ones I'd generally be looking at. Right now in that list, the only ones I'd be considering would be TwoMiners and Ethermine. Now, the other thing that will narrow it down to TwoMiners is that Ethermine is the largest mining pool right now with over 30% of the hash rate, 31 to 32% of the hash rate. And that continues to rise. And if you remember back in February timeframe, when there was an interview with Micah, he basically said that if miners manage to consolidate 40% of the entire hash rate, the all-core devs will have to take notice of that because that can be dangerous. That's dangerously close to being able to get to a 51% attack. Now, Ethermine isn't going to attack the network. They're not going to do it. The issue is that while I respect Ethermine and what they've accomplished, there's always that possibility that somebody could get in and hack Ethermine and take control of their hash rate. Being if they were close to 51 or 50%, they could use that to their advantage, or the nefarious actor could use that to their advantage to orchestrate a 51% attack. So the best way to defend that is by making sure you decentralize the hash rate away from the largest mining pools. If you look at just a few months ago, Ethermine was only about 25%, less than 23%. The reason why they've consolidated a lot of this hash rate is that's where a lot of the China miners have all gone to Ethermine, which is why you've seen this centralization. So I would exclude Ethermine from my consideration. So right now you're looking at TwoMiners is where I'm already at, but we haven't even gotten to, the reasons why TwoMiners is a great pool to mine to, especially if you're a small miner. So the other thing I would be looking at is the cost of the payout. Ethermine, you're paying the entire cost all by yourself. Flexpool, you're paying the entire cost all by yourself. Hivon, you're not paying the cost. Hivon's paying the cost, but their profitability disqualifies them because, you're paying for the payout through the lower profitability. So what difference does it make? If you're paying 1.5% to 2% of your payout, of your entire payout to fees, that's less than what you're giving up when you're mining with Hivon, where the difference between the best mining pool's profitabilities and Hivon is well over 5%. When we're looking at TwoMiners has 2 ways to lower the cost of your Ethereum payouts. One is to convert it to Nano, where they would convert it to Nano and it wouldn't cost you a dime, but you would be holding Nano instead of Ethereum. You would have to then move it back into Ethereum if you wanted to hold Ethereum, or move it back into whatever you wanted to have. Or you can have them pay you out in Bitcoin. And I'm going to take you through that example because that's what I've gone to. The fact that they're doing this for such a low price is amazing. And the payout is really, really low as well. Less than $20 is what they will do at 0.005 Ethereum, they will pay out at that level. So yesterday I started mining to TwoMiners, and today I got a payout this morning. So I'll take you through that in just a moment. So the other thing, which I just kind of alluded to here, is as a smaller miner, you want to be in a pool, as long as not all the other things aren't being affected by it. You want to be in a pool where you can receive smaller payouts. I don't know about you. When I was a smaller miner, I'd like to see just at least a little bit of results going into my wallet, as opposed to just sitting and letting it accumulate in the mining pool and not see it go into my wallet. It's sitting in the exchange's wallet. I want it in my wallet. I think smaller miners generally feel that same way. They would like to see some results going into their wallet or exchange account. Again, that can be very, very important. In this particular case with TwoMiners, yeah, at 0.005, yeah, they will do a payout at that low amount as opposed to 0.1. So at a much, much lower level, a much, much lower amount, they will pay out. So let me take you through the example of the payout. So this is the total process of a payout from TwoMiners into Bitcoin. Every day at 12 UTC, which happens to be about 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, they start the process. So first thing they tell you is that they've started the process, that they're going to eventually deposit it into your Bitcoin address, wherever that is, whether it be a wallet or an exchange. Then they say that they sent your coins with everybody else's. So they send it from their central wallet to the crypto exchange, the amount of all of those miners combined with that transaction ID. Crypto exchange receives those coins. They do the exchange, then they document the exchange. This is what I found the most impressive, is the fact that they're documenting exactly what that exchange is, so that you have not only the basis, but that you have that transparency of knowing exactly if you're losing out. We could go to 6:10 a.m. Central Standard Time and look at a chart and see what was the exchange rate for BTC to Ethereum. Now, I didn't look at it at the exact moment, but I did look at it a little bit later, and it was very, very comparable. So I like the fact that they're extremely transparent. Most other platforms that exchange, you mine one thing and you get paid out in something else, it's not transparent. They're not showing you what they're doing. I mean, if you look at NiceHash, they don't tell you what their exchange rate is. They're just like, yeah, we'll pay you some BTC. But how do you know they're paying you the right amount? You don't. You're trusting NiceHash to pay you what you should be getting paid. So in this case, they're being transparent. That's wonderful. So the next part of it was the coins were withdrawn from the crypto exchange, and the coins are coming together with other miners' coins. So basically, they're now bringing it back into a central Bitcoin wallet before they distribute all of the Bitcoin that they've just exchanged. So at 6:25, TwoMiners Payment Gateway received the coins. They will be paid out to your wallet address soon. And about a half hour later, they were deposited in my wallet. I love this. I did not expect all of this detail when I was going to get the payout. So I couldn't have been more impressed with what TwoMiners has done here. And this is not a sponsored video at all. Didn't talk to them about this beforehand. I know Seb had a giveaway with his video on Nano, but I want to let you know that I have had no conversation with TwoMiners regarding this. I'm not looking for anything from TwoMiners. Like I said, I'm just very, very impressed with it. And this is where my daughter is going to be mining too. She's going to be switching over to mining with TwoMiners. And so for right now, I do want to accumulate a little bit more Ethereum before I switch over to TwoMiners. So I'll be mining with Ethereum. I'll be mining Ethereum with Ethermine for probably until about the end of the year. And then I'll be switching over to TwoMiners and receiving Bitcoin at that point. So That's what I'm doing. That's what I discovered. And I couldn't be happier that somebody is doing this. Ethermine, I should also mention, does have a low cost payout system, but theirs is through Polygon and a layer 2, and it's very complicated. The nice thing about TwoMiners, it's extremely simple. You don't have to do anything. They're doing all the work for you by actually making the exchange, as opposed to getting paid in Matic through, or sorry, getting paid in wrapped ETH through Ethermine, and then having to find a way to unwrap it to get it back into your standard Ethereum wallet. It's complicated. It's not super complicated, but it requires some homework in order to get that done. If you have an easier system like this, most smaller miners are definitely going to opt for this. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. I like the simpler is better approach. So, well, again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, please click the like as well as subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when I'm having future videos. So again, thank you very much and have a great day.